everyone, welcome back. Today I will show you how to make this cozy winter hat. So it is technically a hat or a hood, whichever way you look at it. You can see like this. And we're gonna have a few different sizes that you can make. I have the measurements ready to show you over there. Okay, so this is the smallest size that I make this. This is for a 2-year-old. So you can see this is the right side, but technically you can have either of the sides as the right side. They both look a little bit different. Okay, so this is for a 2-year-old. The next one I have here is size 6 to 7 years old. So I have used gray and then a color, gray color, and so on. So it looks like this, so slightly bigger. And the biggest one that I have made is a size 10 to 11 years old. And I have used a different color each time all the way and then just finished with one color. And again, look inside, looks absolutely gorgeous as well. Super easy to make. We only need a few things. It goes really quickly. It is very warm and very soft. Okay, so if I got you interested in making one of these hats, let's go and see of what we are going to need. Okay, so we are going to need scissors, a needle to hide the tails, so it has to be big enough for your yarn, a measuring tape in centimeters, because my little chart here is in centimeters, the measurements, the two measurements that we are going to need, then the yarn. Okay, so I'm going to use, this is Aran weight or medium weight number 4 yarn. Okay, so you can use any kind of yarn that you want. Technically it can be a little bit thinner or a little bit thicker than this, just approximately, so it's not too thin. Okay, so whatever you choose is going to be absolutely fine. Now I would normally use a 5mm hook for this yarn. Just to make this project a little bit softer, I'm going to use a size bigger, so a 6mm hook. It's just so it's a little bit softer. You can use as many colors as you want or as little as you want. It can be in one color. It is really up to you. I have these all kinds of leftovers left from other projects, so I'm going to use all of these colors for the hat itself, and I'm going to leave this kind of misty purple for the edging around. And then you're going to need something, whatever you're going to do with the braids. Okay, so I'm just going to use the same colors for the braids. Now, how much yarn you're going to need? Approximately 100 grams. Now, not of each color, but in total. So if you're going to do it in colors like me, it's difficult to say in each color how much. But as in total, it's approximately 100 grams, a little bit, so 100 grams for size 10 to 11. So these are going to be slightly smaller, so a little less yarn. Okay, so grab everything that you're going to need and we can get started on it. Grab your hook, your measuring tape, and the first color or the color that you are going to use. Okay, so I'm going to use this green. Make a slip knot. And now, first of all, we are going to chain as many chains as we need to get this measurement. So the height of our hood or the hat, whatever you like to call it. Okay, so here we are. So for size, for a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old, these are the measurements. 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old, 8, 9, 10, 11, and a small adult. Okay, so that would be the early teens, 12, 13, 14, perhaps even 15. Okay, so I will be making a size 4 to 5 years, or 4 and 5, and I need to start with this starting chain of a length of 23 centimeters. So I'm going to start chaining. You don't need to count the chains, so just chain. Until you're approximately at that length. Okay, let me see. I'm going to measure that. I'm going to put my measuring tape right at the last chain that I have made. and I'm just gonna give it a little pull just to stretch it out on approximately 21 centimeters. So I need 23, so 2 more centimeters. 1, 2, 3, that should cover it. And if I just, perhaps 1 more, just to be sure. Now you can make it a little bit longer if you wish, to cover the neck a little bit more, but I will stick to the shorter chain, just because I'm thinking that the child might be wearing a jacket or something, so it wouldn't be able to cover the neck anyways. So I'm gonna stick to 23 just to make sure. Absolutely, yes. So 23 centimeters. It doesn't matter how many chains you have. Now, to start the first row, you're going to give 1 more extra chain, like this. You're going to skip the first 2 chains, and into the 3rd chain from the hook, you're going to make a double crochet. Now, the 2 chains are a double crochet, count as 1 double crochet. And then 2, I'm going to count the whole side, so 1, 2, into the next one, 3, next 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and keep going counting your double crochets. Okay, I will see you at the very last chain. Okay, so I have made 29 double crochets. Now I have 1 chain left, so into that chain I'm going to make 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. Now we want to make the same number without counting those last 3 double crochets. Okay, so all up to the 3 double crochets into the last stitch, I had 29 double crochets. So I want to make another 29 on the other side of this row. Okay, so I'm gonna start, so you can see these leftover chains, and I'm gonna start counting again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I will keep going. I should have 29 to finish. Okay, I have made 28 double crochets and I need 29, so the very last one, so this was the chain 2, goes into that chain 2. Like that. Okay, now I had 29 double crochets, 3 on the very top that I didn't take into counting, and then 29 the same way. I don't really care about the number of stitches, but it has to be an odd number when you add everything together. Okay, so I'm going to change my color. Now if you don't want to change, you can chain 2 and turn and start your front post double crochets around the 2nd stitch, but I'm going to change color, so I'm going to chain 1 and cut my yarn. I'm going to take this peach, I'm going to make a slip knot, and I'm just going to bring it into the very first stitch and then chain 2. Okay, and then we start with a front post double crochet around the 2nd stitch. Okay, so this is the first one and this is the 2nd. So yarn over, go around or under that double crochet and make a front post double crochet. Now in between the front post double crochets we're gonna make half double crochets. So half double crochet into the next stitch that is right above this one. Then again yarn over, you're gonna skip this one because we have a half double crochet there. Find the next stitch and go in and under, yarn over, pull your yarn out, pull through 2 and pull through 2. Then a half double crochet into the next stitch, yarn over, you're gonna skip that double crochet because you have a stitch above it, find the next one and front post double crochet. Then a half double crochet into the next one, front post double crochet, half double crochet, front post double crochet, and so on for this round. Okay, so all the way around. Be careful right here, take your time, make sure that you don't mess anything up. Okay, just because we have that corner, just be vigilant. So keep going. I will see you at the end of this row. I actually decided to come back and just show you that bend over here. So front post, then just look, so this is the next double crochet and the stitch is a little bit to the left. So half double crochet, then again yarn over, I'm gonna go around the next one. So you always get to skip one double crochet in between the front post double crochets. And then again, so this is the next stitch and the next double crochet, and the stitch is a little bit to the left of it. Half double crochet, and so on all the way down. Okay, so I have 2 stitches left. So there is a double crochet and the chain 2. So you should have a front post double crochet and a half double crochet to finish into the top of the chain 2 at the very end. So half double crochet, and I'm gonna chain 1 and cut my yarn. If you are continuing with the same color, you can just chain 2 and then start the double crochet row. But I'm gonna change colors again. I'm gonna cut this off, leave a little tail to hide afterwards. I'm gonna change into this color, and this is going to be the repeat row number 1. Okay, so just remember it's gonna be slightly different now, but it will always be the same when you're doing the double crochet row. So I'm going to connect my yarn. You start with chaining 2 and you turn. Now in every double crochet row that we are going to do, we're going to do an increase in the second stitch and in the second last stitch. That way our hat is going to have this slope. Okay, it's gonna get longer in the front, so it lies nicely over the little shoulder. Okay, so it's not straight, it's gonna go down like this because we're going to make increases in the double crochet rows all the way up to here. Okay, so to do that, now chain 2 counts as the first double crochet, so I'm gonna leave it at that. Now into the next stitch right here, I'm gonna crochet over my tails as well. I'm gonna make 2 double crochets instead of 1. 1 and 2, and this is the increase for the front of this row. Okay, so you do 1 in the beginning and 1 at the end. So, and then the rest of the row gets 1 double crochet into each stitch all the way around. Now you don't need to count your stitches, but you can if you want to. You should always have an odd number of stitches at the end of each row. It doesn't matter how many, it just needs to be odd for the front and for the front post double crochet row to work perfectly. And just like that, keep going with 1 double crochet all the way around, and I'm going to see you right here. Okay, so I'm finishing repeat row number 1, and again we want to do an increase in the second last stitch. So we have the chain 2 right here, and the last visible stitch that you can actually see is the one that we're going to do the increase in. So we make 2 double crochets in that stitch, and then we finish with 1 double crochet into the chain 2. Now it might be a little bit tricky with the chain 2, just try to do your best like that. Okay, so we have 2 and 2. Everywhere else is 1 double crochet. Again, I'm gonna change my color, so I'm gonna chain 1 and cut, and just quickly show you repeat row number 2, which is always going to be the same. You start with chaining 2, and then a front post double crochets around the second double crochet from previous row. So around this one, and then half double crochet in the stitch, front post double crochet around the next one, half double crochet, front post double crochet, half double crochet, and just like that all the way around till the end. I'm finishing this row. I have 2 stitches left. Second last will always be a front post double crochet, and the very last one in the chain 2, a half double crochet. I'm gonna chain 1 because I'm going to cut my yarn, or you can chain 2 if you're keeping the color, and just keep going. And this is repeat row number 2. I'm gonna quickly show you one more time the repeat row number 1. So again, remember, in the double crochet row, you're increasing, so chain 2, and you're making an increase in the second stitch from the start. Now I'm going to crochet a little bit over those tails. It will be easier for me to hide. So into the second stitch, 2 double crochets, and then keep going with 1 double crochet into each stitch until you have 2 stitches left at the end. Okay, and then again I have 2 stitches left, 2 double crochets into the second last one, and just 1 double crochet into the very last chain 2. Like I said, it might be harder to get in there. Just like that, and I'm going to chain 1 and cut, and then again repeat row number 2. I have actually decided to leave these darker colors out, and I will just have these 5 fun colors going all the way to the edge of the hat. It's going to be nice and colorful. Again, I'm going to add a new color, chain 2, and starting from the second stitch, front post, and then half double crochet, front post, and half double crochet. So again, repeat row number 2. So all you want to do for now is repeat these 2 rows until you're approximately 5-6 centimeters away from finishing the width of the hat. So let me see. So this is the B right here. Okay, so it is technically, as you can see, it's the same as what we started. It just gets a little bit longer for the bigger sizes. So I'm making for a 4 and 5-year-old. So approximately 23 centimeters is the full length of the hat. Okay, here's my measuring tape. Okay, so 23 should be approximately right here. Now I just want to leave about 5 or 6 centimeters for the ribbing or for the edging at the front. Okay, so I'm probably gonna stop at about, once I have about 17 or 18 centimeters going in those 2 rows. Okay, so it's the same for everybody else, unless you want to change how wide you want this part to be. As you can see, it's approximately 5 centimeters left. Okay, it will be very easy to add these rows, so don't worry too much. Okay, so for now, keep repeating these 2 rows until you're approximately 5 centimeters away from reaching the full length of the hat. Okay, so at this point I am approximately, let me see, approximately 17.5 centimeters. I need full to be 23, so I'm approximately 5.5 centimeters short of full length of the hat. Okay, so the rest is going to be the full-on ribbing. It's very, very similar to what we have done here, apart from the fact that it's going to be a front and back post double crochets. So it will look the same on the inside as on the outside. Now, first of all, to start that full-on ribbing, we need the last row to be double crochet row. Okay, I have finished on front post and half double crochet, so I need to add a row of double crochets just as normal, with increase in the second stitch from the hook and second stitch from the start and the second last from the end. And I'll take the chance and I will change my colors to the color that I'm going to have the end of the hat. Okay, so I'm going to chain 2. So, and then I will just do as normal. Now, if you already have that double crochet row done, just stay until I finish my one, because it's going to be the same afterwards. It's just that I need a double crochet row to start the next one. Okay, so if you need to add that row, keep going. I will see you at the end of it. Okay, so once we have a double crochet row to work with, again, remember I had those increases there, we are going to start with a full-on ribbing. We are going to start with chaining 2 and turn. We will be making increases in every row in the very first and the very last stitch of every row. So chain 2 counts as 1 stitch, and then we're going to make a double crochet back into that very, very first stitch. So we have 2 stitches or 2 double crochets in 1 stitch. That is an increase. And now we're going to start with a front post double crochet around the second double crochet from previous row, and then a back post double crochet. Oh, sorry. And then a front post double crochet, and then a back post. So we don't have those half double crochets left. Front post, back post, front post, and back post. And just like that, all the way around. I will see you at the last few stitches. Okay, so I'm finishing this row and I have a back post double crochet and I have 2 stitches left. I have a double crochet and a chain 2. So this is what you're going to do when you have 2 stitches left. You finish with a front post double crochet, and then you want to have 2 double crochets to finish. So into the chain 2, 1 double crochet, and actually a half double crochet to finish, the very last one. Okay, just like that. Now if it's hard to put 2 stitches into that chain 2, you can use the stitch from the from the last double crochet, we went around it, but we didn't touch the stitch. So if you find it difficult to go into that chain 2, you can use that stitch there for a double crochet and then just finish with a half double crochet into the chain 2. It doesn't really make a difference. Okay, so the next row is the one that we're going to repeat until we finish the whole front. So you start with chaining 2 and you turn. Now again we do an increase, so we make a double crochet right back into that very first stitch, and this is an increase. We have a chain 2 and a double crochet in that same stitch. And now starting from the next double crochet from the previous row, okay, you start with a front post double crochet. That was the increase from the previous row, okay, and we turn it into a front post. And then you have a back post around the one from last row, and then you can clearly see that this is a front post and then a back post and a front post and a back post, and so on. Keep going until you reach the end of this row. Okay, and then to finish the row, so I have a back post double crochet and I have double crochet from the previous row and the chain 2. So I'm going to finish with a front post, or always finish with a front post, okay, front post double crochet and then a double crochet and a half double crochet into the chain 2. Again, if it's hard to get into that chain 2, you can use the stitch from where your front post is. Okay, so a double crochet and a half double crochet to finish, just like that. And then again you're gonna chain 2 and turn, and exactly the same, double crochet back into that very first stitch, and you start with a front post double crochet around the first double crochet, and then a back post, which is down there, and a front post, and so on for as long as you need to cover all that length. So I probably need this row and perhaps one more. For this to measure 23 centimeters. So keep going, do exactly what we did in the row before, and I'll see you when we have the length done. And so I have finished the width of my hat, about 23 centimeters wide, and this 23. You can make it a little bit longer if you want to. I'm happy with this, so I'm going to cut off my yarn. So you just chain 1 after you finish your last half double crochet, and you leave a little tail and cut and pull that out. Now we're going to hide the tails. So first of all, I'm going to hide this one. Now I don't want to hide it right at the edge because I'm going to have the braids right here. So I'm just going to bring it higher up and just in between stitches close to the edge. That's it. Done. Then if you were changing colors a lot, you are gonna have a lot of tails right here. I have hidden most of them, I just have a few left. So what you can do, so I crocheted a little bit over these, so you can pull them to make it nice and straight, and then just hide them in between the stitches. One, another one exactly the same, And on the other side is a little bit trickier. Okay, you see right here. So if you have any knots hanging at the bottom like that, if you just pull on that yarn, you can bring the knot onto the inside of the hat. And because this was the row where the front post double crochets were done, we have a few stitches that are not covered with double crochet, so it's a little bit harder to hide. So I'm just gonna go carefully in that same color, weaving the needle in around to make sure that it catches well. And then just one more time back. That one's done. And then this one, now I don't want to hide it so in the green so you can see it, so I'm just gonna bring it higher up right here. I'm just gonna hide it in between the blue and the peach. Just like that. Done. And of course, let's not forget about this tail. So I crocheted a little bit over it, and if you want to minimize the angle right here, you can pull on it a little bit and it will be not as sharp. But then I will do exactly the same thing as I have done with the other tails, because I have already crocheted over it for all this way. I'm just gonna go in backwards, and that will be enough. Just like that. All done. So the only thing that we need to do is the braids. So you can choose how long you want them to make. Okay, and what you need to do is you either choose the one color that you want or whatever colors you want, right? So, and you want to double that strand of yarn, okay? So double. Because when we are braiding, this is how long it is going to be. So I'll probably not make it that long, but I will cut off whatever I don't need, okay? And then you can use as many strands as you want. So I'm gonna have 3 strands in this color. So I'm measuring back to the ones that I already cut. And then I'm gonna have all of these colors cut as well. Let me see. Here's the pink one. I'm just gonna like this. And done. So keep cutting as many as you want. Okay, so I have cut 8 strands. Okay, I have 3 of this color and then 1 of each other colors. You can have more or less. It really depends on what you want. And if you double it up, you can see how thick your braid is going to be. Okay, so now I'm just going to have half and half approximately. Okay, and now get your hook and put it right into the first 2 stitches at the very edge. I'm just gonna pull these out like that, and halfway like this, and then the rest of them into the next one. I just don't want to put it all into one, just so there's no big hole, so it doesn't leave a hole in there. And again, let me see, so you can see it's like this. Okay, and now I'm gonna start braiding. So first of all, I'm gonna put something heavy at the back so that my hat is not moving. And I'm gonna take different colors. I might take this green one, and then so I have 4, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I have 5. I'm gonna put this green one right here. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 6, 6 and 4. Okay, this one has less. I'm just gonna take one more from here. It doesn't have to be exact, okay? It doesn't have to have the exact number of strands in each. You won't be able to see it. And now I'm just gonna start braiding. It's gonna be a nice colorful braid. And I'll braid it for as long as I want it to be. So the braid might look like it only has a few colors in it. If you turn it, the other side is gonna be much more colorful, or vice versa. So I'm gonna keep going until I'm happy with the length. You could do a normal string with a pom-pom at the bottom. That would look really cute as well. But I just prefer a braid for this one. Okay, so I think that this is approximately enough. Now I'm going to take a little strand. I'm going to put this under where I'm happy with the length. And I'm just going to make a tight knot. And one more, and I will just cut off the excess that I don't want. And so here I'm just gonna leave a little bit under, and I'll cut it straight off. Here we are. Now I'm going to do one more exactly the same on the other side, right here. And here we are, the hat is all done. The outside and the inside looks very simple, very colorful, fun, nice and warm and soft. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!